Hello, everybody, and welcome to our March Lunch and Learn with Parent of New York State. I have 11:59 on my watch, so I'm just going to get us started. My name is Rae Glaser. I am the director of the New York State Kinship Navigator program. We present these monthly lunch and learns, usually the third Thursday of every month from 12 to 12:30. This month, like I said, we are joined by Parent of New York State. Next month, save the date for the Lunch and Learn. Our speaker is to be determined. We will send out information about that as soon as we get it. Just a couple of housekeeping things. Everybody will be on mute for the duration of the webinar. If you have questions for our presenters, please feel free to drop them in the chat. And one of our presenters or myself will hop in and ask that question so that we can get it answered. All these are recorded, so you will receive, anyone that's registered for the webinar, the recording of today's webinar, as well as our PowerPoint slides. We're right in the middle of budget season right now, so give us a couple of weeks to get those out to you. Hopefully sooner, but I'd rather over deliver and under promise than the wraparound. Just a plug out there for anybody that's involved with kinship care. Right now, we are still working through the budget process and asking everybody to pitch in that is part of the Kin Care Coalition to ask the governor and the Senate and the Assembly to restore full funding for the kinship system of care. If you have any questions about that, please feel free to reach out to me directly. I'm more than happy to point you in the right direction. We would like to thank the Times Union for their generous sponsorship of our monthly Lunch and Learn services. Thank you so much for the outreach promotion. We appreciate it. I'm going to speak just very briefly on the New York State Kinship Navigator program. I believe everybody that joins us is very well aware of our services. But we are information, referral, and education for kinship caregivers, professionals, and prospective kinship caregivers all across New York State. So you can reach out to us via our warm line, 877-454-6463. We're open Monday through Friday, 10 to 4. You can access our services right on our website, www.nysnavigator.org. We have county resources. We have over 70 cited legal fact sheets. We've got access to kinship programs. We have an online chat Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, where you can reach out. We service all professionals and kinship caregivers, like I said, across the state or from out of state that are coming into New York State or vice versa. Any language, we do service caregivers and professionals in non-English speaking. We also do educational events all across the state. Work very closely with the Department of Social Services, Office of the Aging, youth bureaus, anything that you could name it. Kinship 101, Kinship Legal Services, Kinship Financial Services. So if you are looking for more information on the Kinship Navigator, feel free to reach out, preferably via email, and we can get you scheduled for a presentation. Without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our presenters. First up, we have Valerie Dill from Parent New York State. Thank you for joining us today to give us information on your services. Over to you, Valerie.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Just confirming you can see my screen, right?
Sure can.
All right, great. Thank you, everybody. My name is Valerie Dill. I'm the program manager for Family Support Services here at Parent of New York State. Very nice to meet you. With me is Caitlin Primiano, who is from our Rochester office and can introduce herself in a little bit. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Parent New York State. I love questions. You don't have to wait to the end. I want to hear what you have to say. My email will be at the end of this, as well as Caitlin's. You can put yours in the chat, Caitlin, so they have yours. And I'm going to go through my boring slides and tell you more about us. But simply put, to work for Parent, you must be a parent or a caregiver of a child with a disability. My son Parker is 21. He is visually impaired. He has autism and a genetic disorder. Caitlin can tell you more about her kids when we talk about our family to family program. But I think that makes us uniquely different. Many people get into our industry because of our kids, but we were hired specifically because we have children with disabilities. And I always think that makes it a big difference here. So, Parent to Parent offers resources, guidance, and support to caregivers of special needs children. And we get funding from a variety of sources. We get funding from the OPWDD. That's mostly where our funding comes from. And that's where Caitlin and I currently work under the OPWDD. We also get Maternal Child Health Bureau, HRSA, Department of State. That's our family to family grant. And Starbridge in the Capital District and Northern New York, that's where they get some special education help. So we get funding from all different places, but we're all grant funded. We're really going to talk a lot about the family to family support services through OPWD. That's what, again, who funds us. The goal is to help a family who are caring for, or families who are caring for a relative with a developmental disability, providing assistance and support to the caregiver, enhancing family stability, and fostering natural supports that help individuals. We're here for the parents. As I always often tell my staff, we're not kid to kid, we're parent to parent. Everybody's worried about the kids, but who's worried about you? Who's worried about how you're doing? Particularly you guys, because you are this is usually family members or something like that. So this was probably not in your plan to be helping to raise the child you're raising. And I commend you for doing this. So as I was saying, we offer information referral to families and professionals that serve them, training and education, and then we do parent matches. And we'll tell you more about the parent matches. But it's resources, guidance, and support. Just to give you a quick overview of the resources, you could call us from anything and everything. So say you are looking for, we have 5 offices throughout New York State, and say you're looking for, I don't know, a dance class for your kid. You can call us and we'll try to find a dance class. Maybe you want to learn more about what a 504 is or what are the regs or that. We do training on that. We also do training on OPWDD. And then we offer parent matches. I'm going to let Caitlin introduce herself. Caitlin? You're up.
Hello, my name is Caitlin Premiano. I have 5 kids, and my youngest is 5 years old. She has a rare ketone processing disorder, and so she is who brought me to Parent of New York State. And I will be shifting over into the Family to Family Healthcare Information Center program in the next couple of weeks. And that program is designed to help families of children with special health care needs find objective, family-friendly health information, enabling them to make good healthcare decisions. We can help navigate using health insurance and how to get things covered for kids, and provide support for families of children with medical needs. Who those are those who have or are at increased risk for chronic physical, developmental, behavioral, or emotional condition, and also require health and related services of a type or amount beyond that required by children generally.
Thanks, Caitlin. And you're hearing it here first. We have not even made this public, but Caitlin will be our new program manager for Family to Family. So I'm really excited she's here with me. Caitlin is also a social worker. Caitlin lives in the Syracuse area. She'll be covering the state, but she is well versed in all of the state, but really, can really help you guys upstate, Rochester, Syracuse, lives in a rural area, really can help. And she has a passion, I think, for mental health as well, right, Caitlin? I would say you know a lot about, as a social worker, a lot about mental health and how you can help with that as well, right?
That's awesome, Valerie. Caitlin, thank you so much. As we're a statewide program, sometimes it's really nice to have different people regionally,
Right.
To catch the flavor there.
Yeah, great. All right, let's keep going. But that's great. Thanks, Caitlin. So this is run by Tina Beauprelat. If any of you have ever heard of Tina, she's been with Parent to Parent forever. This is only in the capital region and northern, in the sense that every day somebody calls us asking if we're advocates, and we politely have to say no, because we don't advocate. We can't go to meetings. We can't go to CSE meetings with families or anything like that, except if you live in the capital region. They provide personalized one-on-one assistance and information referral. They provide workshops, webinars about special education, 504, IE to CSE, graduation and beyond, and they empower parents. So Tina can help you if you live in those areas with the sense of actually knowing the laws I will tell you that Tina will help any of our parents, and I know she'd say that. So Tina, if you live in the Capital District area and need an advocate, you can absolutely call Tina. But we do these great webinars that are open to everybody, all about things special education. And Tina even runs a special education parent group just to talk about the laws and what's going on. So if you need anything, my email will be at the end of the slides. You can certainly call me and I'll put you in touch with Tina. Her last name is too long for me to put in the email. I'll forget it. But please let us know if there's anything with special ed. And again, we as coordinators in the other offices are not advocates, but they're well versed in the laws, so they can tell you what you should be getting for your person and all that. So hopefully that helps. So with the family support services, as I mentioned, parent groups. This is something I absolutely love about parent to parent. We used to do a lot of in-person groups. I just want to look at my time. Okay, good. We used to do a lot of in-person groups. And then when COVID hit, everything went via Zoom. And we kept them Zoom because we find it's easier for parents to get together online than it is to get home, especially if you have, I know I was just talking to someone and their kid's homesick today, right? Like that happens almost every day. But when you have a special need child, they could just be home. You can't leave them with a babysitter. Maybe they have too many behaviors, or maybe there isn't anyone around locally. So these are all done via Zoom. They meet monthly and they're open, and we do it specifically for these areas. We do for kids under 12. There's a group just for kids under 12, and it's run by one of our coordinators who has a 7-year-old. Navigating the teen years, run by a parent of a teen-year-old. And these are all like, so the under 12, her kid's got epilepsy and something else. The teen has autism. Beyond 21, run by one of our coworkers, Barb Hoffman, who's got 2 kids in their 30s. And one has Down syndrome, one has autism. BIPOC, Black, Indigenous people of color, run by 2 women of color, specific group just for BIPOC families. Latino families, entire group is done in Spanish. We have a Chinese family group. We have a coordinator who speaks Chinese and he meets with families. We have a residential placement group. That's for parents or caregivers, forgive me, who have a child in residential, not considering residential, have a child in residential. We have a fathers group. And then a couple of years ago, one of our coordinators came to me and said, those autism moms get all the groups. They get all the stuff. And what about us Down syndrome moms? We still are around. And she was right. So quarterly, we run a Down syndrome support group. And then we have a coordinator who has a non-binary child who also has a learning disability. And she came to us and said, I think this is something important. So we started an LGBTQ IA plus group with people who are in the intersection. And we're actually starting a new webinar about that because we're realizing, we've just been educated about this from Amy, our coordinator, who said 50% of people who have disabilities also identify to be in, could be non-binary, gay, whatever, in there. So these are just monthly groups. They're just an informal way for you to talk to people. There is nothing, and we call them parent groups, they're for all caregivers. You don't have to be a parent. You could be an aunt, uncle, cousin, doesn't matter. I love them. I can't say enough nice things about these groups because it's just a place to talk. There's no agenda. We don't have guest speakers. It's just a place for you guys to talk. And I find that you get the best information from other families. And they're statewide, so you'll learn, what's going on in different parts of the state. But really, you'll get to talk to parents who get it. So all of this information can be found on the calendar of our website. Just go to our website, and you'll find that. Another wonderful part about Parent to Parent is our parent matching program. I often call it match.com for families because they're very much like you're swiping left for that good person. This is you trying to find someone to talk to, someone who you have something in common with. We train parents and caregivers to become volunteers to us to help other parents. And we're always looking for volunteers. So if any of you are interested, particularly this group, because it would be so nice to have someone who's not, is akin to the family to be a support parent, because we get calls like that all the time. But a trained support parent is a parent or a primary caregiver of an individual with a disability who volunteers for us. It's just someone to talk to who gets it besides us. They connect with other families by telephone after being carefully matched by our regional coordinators to a referred family. And they really can be a wealth of information, but listening is the priority. So say you've got a 7-year-old with autism, and usually something has happened why a parent is calling us. Usually either they're transitioning out of a program or the school is called. Something's usually up that you're reaching out to us. So whatever is up, let's assume in this case, you've got a 7-year-old with autism and they're really having some tough behaviors at school and they're not showing up at home. It's just at school, which happens a lot. And you just, our coordinator might say, why don't you talk to another parent that can help? We'll match you with someone who has like maybe a 9 or a 10-year-old, right, with autism, or maybe not even autism, who has bad behaviors, like really struggling with behaviors, so that you get some ideas and just know that you're not, losing your mind, that you're not doing anything wrong, that you're not a bad parent, that this is just part of a diagnosis and that rears its ugly head. It's just incredible to talk to someone. I personally always reach out to support parents. When my son graduated high school, he graduated at 18. I called my support parent and said, "What do I do now?" And they're helpful. So please let us know if you'd like to talk to someone or if you'd like to volunteer. It can be just a great feeling to talk to someone one-on-one who gets it. And we really do match specifically. We really try to help to make it as comfortable as you. If you are a grandmother, we can match you, or a grandfather, we can match you with another parent who is also a grandparent. If you're a sibling, if I'm divorced, I always say, like, it's a different experience being a mom who is divorced. If you want to talk to someone else who is divorced, we'll hook you up with that. So please let us know if you can help, if you need help with that. We're happy to do that. We do great trainings. I love our trainings. We do them in person, via webinar, and at conferences. So they're able to, you don't have to be a caregiver or a parent. Professionals can show up, siblings, whoever. They're on our website is a list of them. These are our most popular ones, so I kind of put them on here. OPWDD, if any of you have OPWDD or are considering OPWDD, that can be very overwhelming and annoying. So we do something that explains eligibility and how to apply and what to do, and we kind of break it down. And you can call any office anytime with that because we are funded by the OPWDD. Most of our offices, I actually don't think any of the offices aren't. They're in the OPWDD offices. So we get office space from them. So for me, I'm on Long Island. If you haven't figured that out by my accent, it's easy for me to just walk over to the front door people and go, "Hey, I'm trying to help a family. What's going on here?" So please take advantage of that. Understanding supports and services by the OPWDD. Education record organizer. Children with special needs have a lot of paperwork that follows them. This is just a way to get it organized in a nice binder, keep it together. Preventing parent burnout. Oh boy, do we all need that. I think every parent, neurotypical parent or neurodivergent parent, needs that, no matter what kid you're raising. It's hard to raise kids. And we talk about simple ways to help you with that. There's this buzzword self-care that I feel like there's a lot of pressure for parents to do self-care. We're all supposed to be caring for ourselves, and there's just no time to care for yourself. So we talk about simple ways to prevent that parent burnout. This is kind of a new one for us. In their shoes, the sibling experience. One of our coordinators came to us and said, I've got two typical kids, and this is so hard on them. And I'm always feeling guilty that I'm not spending enough time with them. So we have this great in their shoes sibling experience. Traveling with your special needs child, run by Barb, who has the older children, who just took her kids to France. She's got a kid in a wheelchair and she's got a kid who's with autism wearing the headphones, and they were in France, and she said it was great. So she gives you real world advice on how to travel. It doesn't have to be France. She also takes them all over the United States, but I love hearing her thing. Getting started with the residential process. It's a very overwhelming thing to get to consider putting your kid in a residential, but it's a very necessary thing. So we talk about how to get that is and what it looks like and how long it might take, and kind of answer all those questions. And then brand new, going to be starting next month, is Meeting at the Intersection, parenting a child who is LGBTQ and differently abled. So these are just some of the family support services workshops. These are a list of our special education workshops. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Overview of special education, part 200 of the regs, transitioning from high school to the adult world. That's a big one. What you need to know about assistive technology. What's coming next? In the next few months, we've got some really, occasionally we'll have guest speakers from outside parent to parent come, and we've got Access VR coming. If any of you have heard of Access VR, it's impossible to really get a straight answer on like what they do and what they can do. They offer a variety of programs that I don't think enough parents, myself included, are taking advantage of. So I went and found someone to speak, and I can't wait. I think they're coming in April. We have a coordinator who identifies as neurodivergent, and she said, I think I'm not alone. I think there's a lot of parents here who are neurodivergent and raising kids, and I want to find someone. And she found someone who is a professor and identifies as neurodivergent and has children with special needs, and she's going to come speak to us, I think, in May. So that's and we've had ABLE account people come. We're going to have someone for Pride Month. We have all different types of speakers, but these are the next ones coming. So did I do it? All right. I still have 10 minutes left. So
You did a great job.
I feel like I went too fast, but that's me. Caitlin, I'm going to stop sharing my screen now in a minute, but because I can't see anything. But that's me. That's my phone number. That's my email. Take a picture of that slide. That's our website. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Valerie, thank you so much for that. Just a reminder to everybody that you're going to get the PowerPoint in your email as well as the recording from today. So if you don't have any questions now, that's perfectly fine, but you've got Valerie's email address. And thank you for that shout out for the sick kid home today, Valerie. That was me, in case anyone was wondering. I got a call from the nurse about 20 minutes before the presentation, and this is just what we do as caregivers, And I think it's important to note, Valerie said it, whether you're the bio parent or your kinship caregiver, we're all caregivers. We're all raising these kids, and that piece of self-care and knowing how to navigate things and take care of us is really, really important.
And I can't stress that enough, that I feel like we're guilted into self-care these days. There's so much pressure on a parent to be like, you need to have self-care. You need to take care of yourself. That's easy to say when maybe you've got a typical kid. It's not easy to say when you have a kid screaming in the background who only eats chicken nuggets or can't do their homework without help. So, really understand that we're not expecting a lot from you. I just want you to take care of yourselves. As parent to parent, we're worried about the parents.
Yeah, and that's really, really important, and I think what pings me there is that's great to say take care of yourself, but you need the resources to do that.
Right.
So
what does it look like?
Yeah, exactly. So thank you for this, both running the kinship program, but also as a parent, this was a nice deep breath for us. We have no questions, but we do have somebody that says bless you in the comments. So, it's really great work that you guys do. We appreciate sharing that.
And this is one of the biggest resources I recommend is Kinship Navigator, because I just love what you do. I think it's great. And I hope you all appreciate that, because I know how hard they work.
It really does, but both of our agencies. So thank you for joining us today, Valerie. I don't have any questions, which means you covered everything beautifully. Okay. And if folks have questions as follow-up, feel free to reach out to myself or reach out to Valerie. I'm going to put my email in the chat as well, in case for some reason you don't have it. And stay tuned for next month's webinar. Thank you for joining us today. Thanks, Valerie. Thanks, Caitlin. Appreciate it.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.